Welcome to Firearms of America. Today I am back here at Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, and I have this Kimber 1911 Pro Carry II for a review. Chambered in 45 ACP with 4-inch barrel makes it a pretty good option for a concealed carry if you want to conceal carry something with 45 ACP. But I want to put a few rounds through it, just see how 4-inch barrel handles 45 ACP. Let's find out. So 1911s. If you guys watched any of my reviews, any of my videos in general, I am a huge fan of 1911 pistols. Not the magazines, but the pistols themselves. I think the magazines could have been a little bit better for the 1911s, but at least they do have the cutouts here and you can tell how many rounds you have in the pistol. But if you don't know how much big of a fan I am for a 1911 gun, check out the video that I made, a little presentation of the amazing history of a 1911 pistol. And you will understand how I feel about 1911. So let's do some shooting. I will try to destroy one of the, maybe, you know what, the top white, you know, I'll try to hit that white circle. See, all right, a very tough slide. Obviously it has to be with a tough spring, you know, because I want to make sure that this gun can handle a recoil from a 45 ACP. Well, let's see how well it does it. And we got a jam. What kind of jam do we have? The round seems to be fine. It might have been because of a weak grip that I have. Let's shoot another one. I didn't go all the way in for some reason. Maybe it's just a bad round. Maybe it's not my grip after. So, since we had a little bit of a jam, let's do 5 more, just to make sure. So it might have been a bad round, not shaped very nicely. We'll see if it hopefully doesn't happen again. But overall I have to say, of course, as you would expect, there's plenty of recoil. Okay, it's 45 ACP in a 4-inch barrel. So no matter how tough the spring might be in the gun, you will still feel it. And overall, Kimber did a pretty good job with the weight of the gun. It feels very lightweight. So I think if you do want to get this gun for your concealed carry, I think it's a pretty good option because, you know, it's not going to bother you with the weight. But let's do some more shooting. Hopefully we're not gonna have any kind of problems. Let's see if it can hit one of those pedals. Oh yeah, easy. Not easy. Yes. And I did get the last round jam again, so that tells me this might not be the round. This might be actually something with this particular pistol fitting improperly. And I'm suspecting it might be the spring in this magazine right here. But let's get back to the pistol, talk about the features, and then we'll do some more testing and see if that happens again. Okay, first of all, the grip. I do like it overall, your standard 1911 grip. I do like this diamond serrations grip on the back. I do like it a lot. I just wish Kimber implemented the same thing on the front, because this front is so smooth, right? it almost becomes harder to have a good grip on the gun to help you with the recoil. So you do have that unnecessary jumpiness. I think that could have been avoided if Kimber implemented some same diamond grip on the front as well. Of course, you do have your standard 1911 features like the beaver tail safety, your standard thumb safety, which in fact is, by the way, not ambidextrous, so not very appropriate to the lefties at all. The mag release, standard 1911 mag release, again not ambidextrous. And of course your slide release, again not ambidextrous. So yeah, if you're a lefty, don't even, yeah, that's not for you unless you want to switch to shooting right hand like every normal, but not gonna say, not gonna offend any lefties. Unless you're a leftist, then I'm gonna offend you, but lefties, you know, whatever. So let's talk about the slide. As you can see, there are no serrations on the front, so makes it look a little bit better. But at the same time, if you are one of those people that prefers to rack the slide from the front, which honestly goes slide, almost feels like it's a little bit easier to rack the slide, gripping the front instead of the back. I have to tell you guys, this slide is fairly tough compared to a lot of pistols that are out there that I've tried on this channel. This is a tougher, definitely tougher slide. So if you don't like one of those rough slides, you might not be a huge fan of this pistol. One thing that I want to say is that I'm absolutely huge fan in this pistol is the trigger. This is the kind of trigger that I like. Check it out. So obviously single action trigger. As you can see, you do have probably about 0.5 millimeter, literally just 0.5 millimeter here, nothing else. That's it, right? 0.5 millimeter, and then look at that, 0.5 millimeter, and then brakes. I absolutely love this trigger. Now the sides are your standard 3-dot sides. Do like them a lot. Very good sides, very intuitive, very easy to use. I'm gonna put 5 more rounds through it. Hopefully it's not going to jam again in the end, but if it does, we will know that this is a problem with the spring, with the magazine. And sometimes it happens, over time the spring in the magazine, it gets loose and it just doesn't have enough of that tension to push the round into the chamber. And obviously the less rounds are in the magazine, the less of the pressure, the less of the tension there is. So it's normal, it happens. Just replace the magazine and you should be fine. Unfortunately, I don't have any spare 45 ACP 1911 magazines, so we'll have to deal with it. But 5 more rounds. Let's see if my palm and thumb can handle some of that punishment from a 45 ACP in a 4-inch barrel. And yes guys, the recoil, you definitely feel it. You definitely feel it. So if you're looking for a pistol to take on the range and have a good 2-3 hour range day just shooting targets for fun, might not be the best option. Alright, so let's see if I can hit some more of those pedals right there. One thing I have to say, this gun definitely makes me more accurate than I actually am. And if you watch my previous review that I will probably uploaded a week ago, but I just did just now actually with the Beretta and the 6-hour chambered in a 9mm round, they were barely able to turn those pedals, which 45 does it without absolutely any problems. And really, that's one of the main reasons why people do prefer to carry 45 ACPs, because they think of that reliability of the round whenever it comes to the stopping power, and that's one of the main things why 1911 was developed in the first place. It was developed to give soldiers more of that stopping power, because if you know the history, the soldiers, they were walking around with those practically useless revolvers which were not able to do anything, the Krag rifles, and they were just not enough. They were just not enough. This made history. And of course the 45 ACP was developed by the same person who developed 1911, John Moses Browning. So whenever you're getting a 1911, it's almost like a perfect combination. If you're getting a 1911, you have to be getting a 45 ACP. Just one thing to keep in mind: this is a great option for the concealed carry because it's smaller, it is lighter, but at the same time, because the trigger is so light, because it is fairly jumpy due to its shortened barrel to make it shorter, to make it concealed easier, it almost kind of does not work. So it really is up to you. You have to be a fan of compact, more or less 4-inch barrel 1911. You have to be a fan of 45 ACP, and you have to be a fan of Kimber, because there are a lot of other options whenever it comes to the 1911s. So if you're a fan of all three, great gun. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you do have any kind of requests for gun reviews, drop them in the comments below and I will be happy to address them. This was Firearms of America. I'll see you guys in the next video.